One that can see.
Logic before authority.
Hi guys, this is Daniel Alexander Cannon here on Logic Before Authority. Old school Logic Before Authority. No promos, no guest, no video of me. No fluff, no nothing. A lot of you guys asked for it, so I decided there was a way that I could do it, so I decided to give it to you. Today what we're going to do, because I am still me, we're going to look, we've got a new visitor. A new visitor in the skies. Supposedly, some amateur astronomers have supposedly been taking pictures, and of course, all the big guys are talking about it, and they got it on their maps and everything, as you can see right here. Okay, and it's called C24-R2 SWAN. Now, we also have C2025K1 Atlas, as you can see, a second one right here. And then we also have 3I Atlas, the green comet. The C2025-R2 SWAN is blue. And I'm not sure on K1 what color it is, but it's very interesting to me. And no, we can't verify some of this because we're depending on the fact that they claim it's there. Now, we do have some amateur astronomers showing photographs. Let's see, I think I have a few here saying this is what it currently looks like. And something very interesting to me is that they said that it was discovered on 9/11. Yeah, 2025. It was discovered on 9/11. That's a pretty big quinkadink. That's a pretty big quinkadink. Let's look at a little bit, read a little bit of the information about it, okay? It says, see, this is what they are saying. This is what's on Wiki, okay? I'm going to give you some more of my opinions, the way I see things here in just a little bit. You know, old school Logic Before Authority. I'm just going to tell you the way I see it. I'm not going to fluff it. I'm just going to tell you the way I see it here in just a little bit. But let's see what they're saying, okay? It says C2025-R2 SWAN. And of course, SWAN makes me think, and I know you're thinking it, like Black Swan or something else. It's a curious name. I know that they named it supposedly after an instrument that found it. Supposedly it was formerly known as SWAN 25B. Okay. It says, is a non-periodic comet discovered on 11 September 2025 by Vladimir Bazugli. Vladimir Bazugli. Here's this guy's name. Now, as Logic Before Authority, I used to look at Gematria a lot, and I still do. I just don't show it on the Supernatural show very often. However, Gematria is something they use to encode everything. And right out the gate, I notice the numerical match of this guy's name. See, 1116. Well, inverted, that's 9111. And that's just a coinkydink, supposedly, because it was discovered on 9/11 or 11 September, right? But it's just a coinkydink, right? So, Vladimir Bazugli. Now we can come down and take a look at some of the matches, the Gematria matches, and you'll find things. Probably the most interesting one, I think, at a quick glance a while ago, is the world is a stage. Okay. You remember on the Supernatural show not too long ago, we did a show where I said that they had built the simplest of fabric in the heavens. They have built the simplest of fabric. And what is the simplest of fabric? Let me just make sure real quick that y'all guys are hearing me. Yeah, I don't see nobody screaming that can't hear me. So that's good. That's your comments right there, of course. Hey, Super Dave. Hey, Mike. Hey, Roxy. Hello, everybody. All right. So let's keep going. So the world is a stage, is a match for the guy's name. And the guy's name mathematically is 1119. And the date they found it was on 9/11. I'm not really buying that coincidence, okay? I'm not sure what the deal is, whether this comet or any of these are real, because like I said, they have built the simplest of fabric, meaning a bow. Bow in Greek, like the white horse, they had a bow. Remember also SpaceX sent up those 2 satellites that had the, let's see, what was it? Let's see if I can find it here real quick. SpaceX, our time has come. Now, I know y'all guys have seen this, or most of you, okay? But it's something that is important. They're showing us what they're doing. They sent this white rocket up into the heavens with a logo on the side of a white horse and a red horse. And one of the logos, or both of the logos, said on them, "Our time has come." And I'm having a little bit of a hard time finding the image. Let me see here. Let's just alter the search a little bit. Patch. Add the word patch to it. That probably will get it for us. All right, y'all guys hiding it now or what? It's NRO. NROL. Our time has come. Patch. Bingo. We got it now. All right. So you see, let's see if I can get one that's, make sure it's high resolution, okay? That's not. It's not really. Let's use our little tool here. And that should pull it up for us. Let's see if this one's high resolution. Supposedly it is. Let's see. Okay. Here's the patch. It's called a launch patch. Okay. And they had this image on the side of the rocket. And it has a rider on a white horse that has a bow and a crown. And it even shows the crown down here in the stitching. Okay. So you can't deny there's crown. Okay. Or it has a corona. Another word for the same thing. And it has a bow. Now, the way they work is the symbology and everything that they use, it will fold and be manifested and shown in multiple ways. Okay. Now, when I say they have here's the red horse. So let's look at SpaceX. No, let's go Starlink. Starlink live map. Okay. Let's see. I'm not sure if this is it. Not. Probably should bookmark the one I used normally. Let's see if this is it. Not sure yet. But you can see already the amount of satellites that they claim to have orbiting the giant ball. Okay. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot, right? There's basically one over your head according to these maps at pretty much all time. Okay. And others, they're launching more all the time. I remember one time they said that they had it listed that they were going to put up 33,000, like 1/3. And most of you know that my opinion of stars as to what they are, that they are angels, different types of angels, but angels still. And they're creating something that is in the image of that. But what's more importantly is they're creating a blanket, sky blanket, sky projector, a sky projection screen. Okay. So knowing that they have all of these things up there, is the technology available using lasers and other things, which they've recently, a couple months ago, admitted that they were now launching, that the satellites they were sending up had high power laser systems on them. Okay. So the question is this: is what we're going to be shown in the heavens, is it going to be a movie? Are the heavens going to be central casting too? You have to ask the question. Are they going to try to fool us? Of course they are. The Bible even says a grand delusion, right? That it was going to be a grand delusion. How grand? Well, I'm trying to explain it to you. A bow, the definition of bow, meaning the rider had a bow. And the definition in Greek is, which is the language Revelations was written in, is the simplest of fabric. And this would qualify as fabric. Okay? It would qualify. In my opinion, it would qualify. Now let's look again, let's read some more about what they are saying about the comet. Discovered on 11 September 2025, Vladimir Bezugli through SWAN imagery. As of 17 September 2025, the comet has an apparent magnitude of plus 6.9 with a solar elongation of 30 degrees. They're saying the tail on this comet is extremely long. And they're now, well, we'll read more, but I think from what I've seen, they're saying that this thing is going to be visible naked eye. Okay. In the coming months. Solar elongation of 30 degrees and is observable near the star Spica. Using binoculars is better seen from the southern hemisphere. So Spica Spica is part of Virgo. Okay. Now, part of Revelations also talks about the woman clothed in the sun, 12 stars upon her head, and when she was giving birth, travailing in pain. And when she gave birth, there was a red dragon there, or there was a dragon that was wroth, a wroth dragon, kind of like wroth child. Cain being the first one in the Bible that said he was wroth with God. He was mad. He was red-faced, kind of like Rothschild. Imagine that's where that came from. So this comet is in Virgo. We're going to look at the map here again in a few minutes closer. It says the comet was first spotted in images from the SWAN instrument on board the Solar Heliospheric Observatory, SOHO, by amateur astronomer Vladimir Bouzugli on September the 11th. The presence of the comet, confirmed by other amateur astronomers, having an estimated magnitude of 7.4, and featuring a tail about 2 degrees long. The comet, upon discovery, was located in the constellation Virgo, where there just happens to be 2 other comets. And in my opinion, this is my opinion, comets are streaking angels. They are a type of deity. And it's the essence of an entity, and they're streaking through the sky. Just like the many, many angels that I've seen show me how an angel streaks and leaves a tail behind it, like sparks. Makes way more sense to me than dust and snow flying off of a big rock. Big snowball, as they call it. I mean, that's just ridiculous. But some people still insist on believing those kind of things. It says, and it was better seen from the southern hemisphere as it was higher in the sky after sunset. C24-R2 was not discovered earlier, in part because the whole test check effect, as the comet was less than 30 degrees from the sun between August 7th and September 13th. Between August and September, the comet had rapidly brightened from a magnitude 11 to magnitude 8. The comet is not likely in an outburst. However, it is currently unknown how quickly it will dim or if it will completely disintegrate. Let's see what else they're saying here. Kind of scanning. I don't want to bore y'all guys or bore myself. Let's look at some of these numbers here that are related to it. See if I notice anything particularly strange other than discovered on 11 September. I ran the Gematria on SWAN and the related names as well. It says its epoch date is 13 September. It says number of observations 83. Aphelion of 1,600 and 9,000. A lot of 6s and 9s and 1s for sure. And a lot of occultic type numbers for sure that I'm seeing here, like 42 and 47 and 88 and 777. Just a lot of it. And to some of you, it won't mean nothing. They code everything. It's just like code in a computer. Everything that is anything in a computer is coded, and that's how they treat the world. That's how they treat everything they do. Says Earth, says Earth will cross the comet's orbit around 5 October, and it may produce a meteor shower. Oh my goodness. You've got to be kidding me. Oh no. This is playing out just like what I said. Holy smokes. All right, let me read that again. C24-R2 SWAN came to perihelion one day after discovery on 12 September 2025. No, discovery was on 11 September, according to the right above. Anyways, at a distance of 0.5 AU from the sun, Earth will cross the comet's orbit around 5 October 2025, and it may produce a meteor shower. It will make its closest approach to Earth at a distance of 0.26 AU on 19 October. Why does that date sound so familiar? Because the other comet, 3I Atlas, at 19 October, again, another 1 and another 9, okay, will be directly between, well, it will be directly behind the sun on that date. So, meaning from the view of Earth, supposedly, according to them, that comet A3 or I3, 3I, is going to be directly behind the sun on 19 October. And at the same moment, this comet is going to be on close approach to the Earth and may produce a meteor shower. What? When have we ever been told that a comet was going to come by so close that we might get a meteor shower? And no, it ain't going to be a meteor shower. What it's saying is that we may see sparks coming off of it that are actually low enough that we see them streaking through the sky. That would be my way of looking at it. Wow. This is insane. I literally did a show, me and Roxy and Shannon and Miss Kim on the Supernatural show. I literally did a show. Oh, what's it been? We've done several talking about this comets and things going on. And we literally said that it was likely, or one of the things I thought could happen is that they were going to say that this dust or this meteor shower that's coming off of this comet that comes by is going to cause a catastrophe somehow on the Earth, right? This is their story. But I think that is a possible story that will unfold. Okay? They've even made movies of that scenario. Am I right? Or am I wrong? But also, am I right? We ain't never been told the comet's coming by so close, we're going through its tail or its debris path, and we're going to see sparks in the heavens from it. What? It says it will cross the celestial equator on 3 November 2025. Well, I hate to say it, but I got to keep reading a little bit more. See what else it says. See what their story is, right? Because right now, it's already gotten off the hook. As the comet was discovered near perihelion, the closest approach to the sun is reasonably well known, but the aphelion, farthest distance from the sun, is currently constrained by the low spatial resolution of about 1 degree per pixel, stereo A observations in August. Now, how is stereo A observing it in August if it wasn't discovered until September 11th? Huh? Okay, I reckon I'm just a dummy. So, and it says, and without the stereo A observations, there is only a short 4-day observation arc for the orbit determination. Aphelion is anywhere from 60 plus AU from the sun with an orbital period of hundreds to thousands of years. It says the Minor Planet Center, using observations through September 15th, estimates an orbital period of 1,400 years, with aphelion around 250 AU, which is what they call a distance from the sun to the earth. That's an AU. So they're saying it's 250 of them when it swings way out. And all this, none of this is real, guys. Not in respect of how it's being presented by them. None of it's real. This is a movie. Okay? Now, it is a movie that may possibly have real world effects that may manifest somehow, just like they made the movie about the corona. You know, that movie and how it manifested with real life effects and real death effects. Yeah. Okay. Says, and JPL, using observations through September 14th, estimates an orbital period of 20,000 years, with aphelion beyond 1,000 AU. Okay, so they're saying their JPL is saying it goes way out and comes back every 20,000 years. And the Minor Planet Center is saying, well, not quite as long, it's only 1,400 years. And then you got the other group saying maybe 60. Or excuse me. So hundreds, it said hundreds to thousands on the first one. Okay. All right. So what we're reading here is a script for a movie that is playing out. And right now we've got multiple characters. We've got the stage being set by SpaceX through Starlink and NASA. And then the heavens are kind of the stage in which this is going to be played out. And things that we're going to see manifest around these date periods here that they gave us, like around 5 October 2025, it may produce a meteor shower. Okay, so from September, what? That's just crazy. So from 5 October, that's only a week and a half from September 23rd. So if all this is in play, what's going to happen on September 23rd? Because a week and a half after that, they're saying that Earth will cross the comet's orbit around 5 October, and it may produce a meteor shower. Awful strange to me. Quite the interesting movie coming together, dude. It is. Don't you think, Super Dave? Let's see here. says using JPL's number 2 with observations through 14 September, the comet's orbital period has a large margin of error of about 186,000 years because most of the observations occurred over the short arc of summer or September 11th to the 14th. So it's uncertain how long the comet takes between visits. Like, how would they even have a clue? This is all mumbo jumbo fantasy NASA world. All right, got a bunch of citations here, external links. Let's see here if this will pull up by chance. No, it didn't do that. I want, if this does it. Okay. Maybe we'll get it. Okay. Let's look at their make-believe stuff here and see what they're showing us, okay? So this comet, they're saying, is coming. Well, let's look. If we look at it on a flat plane, they're saying it's coming in like that and swinging around and heading back out, right? Okay, let's go down here and let's look at the Earth. If I can get my zoomer to zoom. I've fixed my mouse. I don't know why it's acting like that. Okay, so so they say that Earth will pass through its tail. That's what they're saying. So let's go to October 5th, right? This date on here right now is September 17th. How do we go to October 5th? I think we just click along here. Let's start clicking. Let me see what date we're at here. That is October 10th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Here's October 5th. So this is October 5th. See if I can go full screen here. Now, if this is SWAN and it swung around through here and coming out this way, how is it on the 5th? Let's look at come around here. How is it exactly we're supposedly passing through the tail at that moment when it ain't even got here yet? According to this diagram that's theirs. I mean, I didn't make this up. They did. But this is October the 5th, 2025. And SWAN's not even here yet. I mean, it's not. I mean, you can see that it's like kind of like not chasing the Earth, but on the map it kind of looks like that. Let me tilt it down like this so you can see it. I may be able to zoom in even some more here. So this is October 29th, November the 1st. Go back to October the 5th. See the comet? No, this don't make any sense. We just read what they said about it, and now here, when we look at it, it don't match up with that. Well, one thing for sure, we shall see, right? We shall see. Let's go back over here to, I want to look at this other so-called mapping system again. Let's move it down here where we're at, so I don't have to run backwards and forth like this and waste your guys' time. All right. So now here we are looking at it with the constellations and everything. This is Virgo right here, her legs here. And I can't help but think of this also. Let me, you know, I'm going to do it. I'm going to show you I Pet Goat. I want to count how many fireballs or comets are shown coming down. They said we might get a meteor shower. Is that what's depicted at the end of I Pet Goat? You tell me. Let's look at the 4K version if we can. If it's still up here. Yeah. It just is clear. And hopefully it don't jam my internet. So there you have the beginning of it, where it shows the 6 planets that will be in the night sky from starting about the 20, well, actually even before that, but during the Feast of Trumpets, 22nd, 23rd, 24th of September, there will be 6 planets in the night sky. Mercury in the late afternoon, and then 5 others, which I've got on the screen here. I could show you that same night. And I've shown y'all guys in a previous, on a Supernatural show broadcast. Now, let's go forward, because all this new information can alter what we're seeing here. Okay? It can alter how we view things that we've already viewed before, right? So we got the scenes going on with these dancing around in here, and they've got stars, like a star or something on their chest, star or a comet or a deity. Certainly that's what they're representing, and they're showing themselves as like being in the heavens, and they're dancing around right by the sun, which is what these things are doing. The fire represents the sun. So, but let's slow this down just a little bit and let it play forward. And maybe I'll increase. It says 4K, but this ain't 4K. That's all right. We'll keep going. Let's just go ahead and slow it down, though. Just going to slow it by 50%. Turn the audio off. Let it play. It's always curious with the waves. We will find out whether these are shark fins or waves or frequency waves sooner or later. And right now we've got a green character, like a green reptile type character, like a dragon or a whatever. Kind of looks like a frog. But we've got that character doing his dance. And then we get the bear, or what looks like bear. Has like hands of a bear. Of course, has the star signifying that we're in the heavens, is how they're projecting this. And then we get after this guy, we get the death mask. The doctor's death mask. Or plague mask, actually, is what we get here. The wings with the sparks It's kind of interesting as well. Does this represent what happens after that comet passes? Will they say there's a plague due to this happening? I can't say for sure, but it does actually make me want to back up and watch this again. He's stomping, jumping, he flips around, changes his mask, meaning changes his appearance, turns into the doctor's plague mask, and he's spinning while he's looking down at the earth, spinning, 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 and then jumps up because it goes from darkness to lightness, dark to light. See, it's dark out. And then maybe the sun rises, maybe it's depicting the second sun arriving, which, if you look at this scene, you have two suns depicted in the eyes of the gargoyle. And then the earthquake hits. And then the birth, the arrival. And he's coming in a boat, parting the water as he goes. You see, that's very much symbolically like a comet. And I think that's exactly what they're depicting. That the Egyptians looked at it just like this. That deities were riding in comets. This scene coming up is what I'm really interested in. And I really wish I had a better version, because there is a 4K version out here. iPet 2.2, that's W. 2. Just put 4K, and see if we actually see the 4K one. Just had it the other day. And I actually have it downloaded, so I have the actual file. But it's not. I know the one up there said 4K, but that's the one we're already on. And yeah, we're going to look at the other iPet goats as well. Let's just switch to this one here. And we're going to change the speed again. Go to 50%. And we're going to go down here. Right here. Let it play forward a little bit. Got the lilies rising above the water, signifying it is morning time, along with a lot of other symbolism behind that. And then it runs forth, and we can see Aquila right here. You can see what looks like a bird. Bird's head, as soon as that goes away. Right there, bird's wings, bird's head, that is Aquila. Aquila is to the upper right of Sagittarius in the heavens. Now again, that is their system. I didn't invent it. I'm just observing the enemy. Okay? Don't beat me up. Some of you guys like to do that pretty good. I'm just going frame by frame, looking to see if I see anything else. Of course, I see what looks like the skies, like when northern lights hit, where everything in the sky looks electric and all that kind of thing, because it is. And then let's move forward through the rest of this scene. He's got fire in his eyes, waking up from his long sleep. He's on his mission. And of course, we just seen a great earthquake on his birth, the second sun, the anti-sun. And of course, there we go with the temple falling. And of course, we can see in the background that there's a tsunami that's depicted as well. As it zooms out, you can really see that, of course. He's sailing along, still on the water, but he's made his pass, you might say. And as you can see, you got a lot of buildings and all kind of things here that are falling, crashing. You got aurora skies. Got a very dramatic day being shown here. And unfortunately, they plan on this day taking place. And I'm concerned that it's tied to these comets. You'll see why in a second. Okay, so here goes, of course, I've said already before, here's Aquila, constellation Aquila. Here, over here is Scorpio or Scorpius. Right over here, you can see the scorpion's tail, his body, his claws are depicted here. And, and of course, here's the sun rising. And it's rising right in between those. These constellations are in the skies in the morning time and towards the end of September. They even actually are a little bit right now, but they're in the skies. Let's count these fireballs. So that's one right there. We got one. What I'm thinking is this depicting, and it could be depicting multiple things, okay? You have to understand how these guys work. Every single pixel in this image you're looking at, for every single frame, when I go from one frame to the next frame, like that, it's all planned and every single thing means something, okay? So this is the second fireball or comet or missile, or maybe even something else. This is the second one here. And, well, let's just count them. That's number 2. Here comes number 3 in a second. Boom, number 3. Number 3 strikes the pyramid. You have the 3 pyramids, of course, that are in the image of Orion's belt, because even way back then, they were very much into the heavens and very much into these kinds of things. But it's my belief at this point that this is representing the destruction of Babylon. And I've stated it before, and somebody's going to have a really hard time proving it, because I've got 15 years or longer, really, staring at this stuff. And I've been decoding this video for over 10. Came out in 2013. And I'm probably 11 years in, at least, decoding it. Babylon. Look up Babylon, New York. You'll find it. It's right on Long Island, own little city community place area. Look up Babylon Canyon. It's right off the coast of New York City. It's a big canyon out there. There's Hudson Canyon, Babylon Canyon, and a couple of others. Think that ain't hinting. Who named those? Who gets to name a canyon? Who gets to name a city in Long Island? Times squared, or 2 times meat. We get the destruction, that's number 3. But let's see here. Right now, that I'm aware of, and we're going to have to look. There's number 4, right up here. I missed it. Number 4. And I think there's number 5. Notice also that the sun is pulsing. Now, I understand you could look at the sun as being pulsing all the time, because it is. But I think these rings signify an event that is taking place, like a giant CME that produces these aurora skies. Remember the aurora skies that were worldwide for the first time ever? First documented worldwide auroras ever happened just, what, a little over a year ago? So we got aurora skies, we've got a pulsing sun, we've got so far 4 fireballs, comets, missiles, whatever they are, however they play out, and may play out in more than one way. Oh. Ooh. No. Okay, that's number 5. That's not what I'm thinking about. Oh boy. All right. Look at this. I gotta go back over here. Okay. Matter of fact, you can go to the opening scene. Now notice that there is something that looks like snowflakes falling. Them, like snowflakes or dust from a comet falling continuously from the sky throughout this movie, or this AI created animation. You see it? Something falling from the sky that looks like dust, snow, or sparks. It's particles that are going to be said that are coming off of this comet. Okay. Let me check in the comments and see what y'all guys are saying. Maybe you're saying Daniel's finally lost it. Let's see. No, Jesus ain't in that boat. Let's see here. Just looking at y'all guys' comments now. Grand Canyon has many Egyptian name sites. Yep. Because there was a previous cycle. You see, this world goes in cycles. And some of the land, or 3/4 of the land, lays dormant at all times. Only the area that we occupy is fully accessible. There may be still others in some other lands that we're unaware of, but only 1/4 is covered by the sun at any given one epoch. And yeah, I know. Sounds crazy, don't it? Well, you're here listening to me for a reason. Because you want to hear something different than what everyone else is telling you. You want to hear something closer to the truth. You want to hear somebody use some logic before authority. Looking through your comments a little bit more. Super Dave had to go, it looks like. War Priestesses, October is Scorpius. The Hopi Prophecy. Yeah, the Hopi Prophecy is depicted in here as well. Right here. This is the blue Caccino. You notice it's blue. It's dancing. It has a star. It's in the heavens. It's coming forth. And it's depicted by CERN in that big statue. That's blue Caccino as well. So, yeah, you are correct about that. All right, let's see. What else can we look at here? It may tell us anything. I don't know. Let's see if we click on this one comet. This other one, we looked at SWAN a little bit. We looked at Atlas, of course. Let's look at this one and see what it gives us. It opened up the star map. Okay, that's fine. Let's just go and click on it again. K1 Atlas, Constellation of Virgo. Here's the chart on it. Yes, we know that. When was it discovered? Observation date 9/16/2025. That must have been the most recent observation date. In Virgo, of course. Let's look at let's pull this one up in Wiki and see what kind of weirdness is going on there, because I'm still blown away by them saying we're gonna. And I realize Wiki doesn't have all the information correct, so please spare me. But that's what it says. We're going to be looking into it more. Let's back that up a little bit. Run it again. Apparently, I'm going to have to do a Google search. Search it there. See what we see. Okay. Three-eye Atlas. See, we know about that. K1 Atlas. Where is the wiki? Says Atlas means asteroid terrestrial impact last alert survey system. Well, lovely. They're the ones who discovered it. All right. Let's see here. This wiki's giving me 3i, but it's not giving me K1. It says discovered on May 24th. Let's take a peek at that. All three of these, no, excuse me, two of them were discovered by Atlas. And one was discovered by SWAN. And these programs, to be honest with you, they may not even exist. It is what it is, because we have no way to prove it. No way at all. But in Revelations, with the dragon coming, and we got 3 comets right by Virgo right now, and Virgo's in the sun right now, or the sun is in Virgo, however you want to say it. There's a whole lot of stuff going on. And I will be watching it. And I hope y'all guys will be too. Because if you're subscribed to Logic Before Authority, you will get updated. Sometimes very quickly. Basically, depending on what's going on. K1 Atlas. Where is the K1 Atlas? Let's see what we're looking at here. This is R2. This is the SWAN. It was discovered by SWAN. What does SWAN mean? The device that discovered it. I think we need to know that. What is SWAN? Not a SWAN, but what is SWAN? You know, it's a waterfowl. SWAN. Apparently there's a SWAN nebula. They've studied by using instruments like Sophia. Okay. We want to know what SWAN is. SWAN. Why am I looking? Why am I not getting the right thing? Wait a minute. Oh, that we already seen that. SWAN instrument. SWAN instrument refers to the solar wind anisotropes instrument on the solar and heliospheric observatory SOHO satellite. Okay. The solar wind, so they spotted it on there. Okay. SWAN is an ultraviolet camera that takes all sky images to measure the actual structure of interplanetary hydrogen. Does it really? Its main purpose is to map how solar wind affects interstellar hydrogen. Okay. SWAN is located on the SOHO satellite. All right. Okay. Let's go to see if we can get JPL to show us the orbit of SWAN. It's Atlas. Let's just go. If I can find it. Table Mountain Observatory. And they got it up on top of a giant tree stump. Right, perfect spot. Says JPL says our missions have flown to every planet and the sun, and they landed on the moon too. Of course, don't forget that one. I don't think it's not that important if I look at it right now, but I was kind of wanting to look at the orbit of what they're claiming to be. This isn't it. Could just go here and look it up because I already have it up here. Let's look up, wait a minute, this is SWAN. Well, that's good. I already got it up. I'm looking for it. Great. Okay, so SWAN was the one that they're saying that that we're going to go into a meteor shower from it. That's this one. Then you got K1. Okay, that's C2025 K1. Let's look that one up real quick. K1. C2025. K1, C2025 K1. K1. Okay, here we go. Maybe. Orbital viewer, yes, that's what we want to see. Okay. So here, now we have the orbit of that third one. So it's coming in from way out yonder too, apparently, at a high angle. According to them, we have no clue if any of this is even real. And I'm pretty sure it's not. But I'm interested in seeing what they're saying and what they're depicting. Okay, so from the view of the Earth, it swings around. It's also in Virgo. It would be cool to have all three of them on here, but I don't believe it will allow me to do that. Let's see. Where is it at now? It's still on path to come out by, not really by us, but then again, when I'm speaking these words, describing what I'm looking at, it's like looking at a fantasy movie and talking about it, you know, but that's what we got to do. All right. So this is now, let's go forward and see where it's going to be. There's the 23rd. So it's still heading in towards the sun. Okay. So this is October 4th, 5th, 6th. So on October 4th, 5th, this is the date that they say we would be passing through the comet debris, maybe having a meteor shower from the other comet, the SWAN comet. And this K1 comet, K1 Atlas, is just passing close to going behind the sun, inside of Mercury. So it should get big, you would think. So then, but it would be a daytime comet because Earth is here, according to their diagram. You know, we would be looking. See, it's also below the equatorial matrix, you might say. Let's go ahead and go forth some more. So right around in here is its closest approach. And it's down below, again, the equatorial, I guess you'd call it, matrix. And on approximately 2 days after we're supposed to get Okay. So they're depicting this comet as being extremely close to the sun, way inside of Mercury's orbit. You see that? And it passes right behind the sun. At the same time, another comet, 3I Atlas, is also passing behind the sun within a couple of days of this. You see that? And this comet is extremely close. What if it is claimed, because we're watching a movie, what with real world effects? Yes, I know. What if it's claimed that it hits the sun, or it, because they have what they call sun diving comets and all these kind of things. They got all kinds of fancy stuff in these video games. Let's zoom in on this some more. Now you can see, again, this is Mercury here. And this is supposed to be the closest to the sun, right? And it appears to be by observing it in the nighttime sky, because you can only see it when the sun's setting or the sun's rising, and it doesn't last long. And it's very low to the horizon. So to me, yeah, that's like saying maybe it's like closest. But this thing, C2025-K1 Atlas, is about, what is that? 25-30% of the distance of Mercury. It's like, it should be like flaming, right? Because this is going to be extremely close. So now we got to update our story here, our movie plot. We got a comet that looks like it's maybe going to explode or hit the sun, this kind of thing. We got another one around the same date, because this is the boom, boom, that's the 5th right there. On the 5th, we're supposed to be getting a meteor shower from a comet. SWAN, Comet SWAN. And then you have this comet and the other comet, 3I Atlas, that is supposed to be swinging behind the sun as well. It's not hard to see a recipe for them putting on quite the show here. And we know that's what they're up to doing. We know that there's a grand illusion afoot, don't we? And yeah, I might not be right about how I'm seeing it play out here, but at least I'm paying attention. At least someone is. And I believe I do have a critical mind to be able to consider these things, because I've dedicated the last about 16 years now to this work. Turn my back on the system. Turn my back on a lot of things, and went to work for the people. And that's what I plan to continue to do. And with that said, I'll be following this up again. I'm going to save all these tabs and links here so I can just pull them all right back up. And we're going to do an update on this. All my links are below. And if you appreciate this work, I could really use a little financial love right now. Honestly. With that being said, I am going to get out of here and not take any more of y'all guys' time. I hope you enjoyed the show today. Well, not the show, because this isn't the show. I hope you enjoyed this new, going back kind of old style of Logic Before Authority. And I greatly appreciate y'all guys being here. And Thank you for all your comments. And yeah, Wayne the Pain, we don't know exactly what's going to go down, but it's a good question. Won't it burn up before it hits the sun? Well, we're going to see what they're going to say is going on, but there is a great grand illusion in the heavens that is coming. Starlink with the white horse rider on there and the red horse on there, that ain't for nothing. They're telling us they're up to those kinds of things. Conquering to conquer and to cause them to kill each other. And then you got the pale horse right behind it. It's looking all sick. Oh, he's kind of pale looking. He's a little green in the face. And then you got death coming after that. Be wise. Keep your eyes and ears open. And subscribe to Logic Before Authority.
I've got one that can see.